Hey Rahul,
Perhaps. Hey, Yuki, how are you?
very good and welcome to GiveMeTen. And thank you for
Yeah,
being in this little chat, informal chat that we are going to have today.
thank you to you. It's very nice to be with you.
I'm so glad. Let me introduce you for the audience today. So, Rahul is my coach, and a lot of what I'm doing today is because of the coaching that I had with Rahul in 2018. I think
Wow.
all of 2018 he was coaching me, and I've been able to take a lot of decisions in my life thanks to him, and I owe a lot to him. So thanks, Rahul, firstly. And officially, Rahul is a quality manager at one of the largest furniture retail stores in the world. So thank you, Rahul. And we'll move straight to the questions. So, Rahul, what
Let's
are
go.
you doing these days and why?
Yeah, it's a good question, Yuki. I've been thinking about it and observing that, looking around me to my colleagues at work, family, and friends, I see them trying the best to cope with the situation that we have nowadays. This thing with the pandemic has turned around our lives upside down tremendously. And then I observe a lot of people that needs to feel that someone is truly listening and really present with them. So I see some of them also have difficulties to find purpose, meaningful purpose in their lives, and perhaps redirect or re-steer what's going on with them, what's going to happen with their lives in this situation that we are living nowadays. So these days, I invest most of my time in listening, in coaching, and having meaningful conversations that make people perhaps sharpen a little bit the goals, focus a little bit where they want to go, and set for themselves the best path to achieve their objectives. So it's a lot about coaching. It's about exercising leadership. It's about just being there. It's nothing very complicated, but yeah, it's about being truly present and listening. And then also, I'm working quite a lot with myself. I love learning new topics, new aspects. And by the way, currently I have started a very interesting book by Rasmus Holgard. It's called The Mind of the Leader, and I'm very curious about that. So all in all, this is what it brings me energy. So that's why I do it. It's about growing yourself, but also accompany others in their growth is what brings me the most energy.
Oh, fantastic. And you're
Mm.
fantastic at that. Okay.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
So, Rahul, tell me one experience that has stayed with you in your life.
Mm. Uh, one experience that comes sometimes, it's experience about myself is referring to a motorbike trip that I did with my wife all across Europe. So I come from Spain, but I live in Romania, is the other side of Europe. And once we decided to do a 2 weeks motorbike trip. So it was our first long trip on the road. We expected a lot of kilometers, nice scenes, and everything on the way. Fantastic, no? So what happens is that we prepare everything, we try to minimize risk, everything under control. What happens in the first day is that we unfortunately we had a little accident. So we fall and slept, nothing serious, some bruises and bumps here and there. But that puts ourselves instantly in a very tough decision. And we were facing our own fears. Should we continue or should we just call it off and return and cancel the trip? No. So there we were standing in the middle of the road, trying to take ourselves the shock off and cool down and decide what we want to do in the next days. So that was the story. And when revisiting it, when thinking about it, I find a lot of value for myself. It was about trust. It was about courage, facing and be in front of your fears in something that has happened unexpectedly, you know. And if you think it twice, at the end of the day, it's something that you build over time, steadily and calmly. So in order to be ready to take the decision to continue the trip and getting back on your feet, that's nothing that you do overnight. But how do you build it step by step together with your family, together with your friends, your colleagues, in order to be really ready for that unexpected and sometimes painful decisions.
My God. It's scaring me. Just listening to you is doing something in my stomach. Okay, Rahul. And then the last question. If you had to share one thing with your 25-year-old self, what would it be?
25-year-old, what an interesting age. This is amazing. No, myself, it was starting my first years on the professional field, getting out of the college, and you try to show your value. No, so in my case, it was a lot of energy and plans for the future, more or less, I had a clear direction what to do. So if I can right now give advice to myself, then it will be actually two. I would say challenge your assumptions. So think twice, stop for a moment and reflect. You are full of certainties at your 25. You are you feel powerful and energized. But where these certainties come from? How do you relate with these assumptions, these certainties, and what are really possible in front of you? What is really possible that you can do? One of the things I want to share with you, Yuhi, today is that one of my biggest assumptions in my life it was that I wouldn't be able to find love. Imagine that. I had it completely assumed. I thought love is not for me, so I would do something else. It was a very strong assumption that it turned out not to be true. So sometimes stop, think on what are your foundations and where are they really sustained. The second advice I would give to myself is to really grow practice to observe yourself, to be mindful, to be compassionate. So I would say straight away, Raul, just go, pick a flight, learn how to meditate and practice it. Enjoying the strength of becoming more conscious and aware about yourself, because it's really powerful and actually it's the best resort at your head. So that is more or less what I would say. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rahul. I'm sure everyone's learned a lot, and I'm sure the younger generation would have heard this about challenging yourself. So thank you. Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
Have a good day, Yuhi. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
See you.